So there will always be frictional costs to technology, to the innovations. That's granted. There will be some immediate concerns here and there. So that's granted. But like I said earlier on, there are certain functions which will always be the role of a bank. Banks will always be the cheapest source of funds and the best platform in terms of mobilizing or keeping that store of value function. There are certain things that, unless of course we get to a point where we are building a lot on like digital currencies like crypto and the rest, where the role of central bank governance systems don't really have a lot of play. Once it comes to the normal monetary systems in any country, banks will always play a very, very critical role. What is happening is almost like a change in some kind of a trend, where the certain things that used to be primarily delivered by banking, we found out that they are actually not that. There are certain things that would always be the preserve of banks. Banks are a traditional store of value. So whether it was fiscal money that was stored in banks, or if it was even like metals and all of those things that were stored in bank, or it's a digital representation of that through fiat currency, whatever it is, banks have always been a good store of value. But we can all agree that when it comes to really on the distribution side, banks don't understand retail, they understand corporate, they understand how to serve wealthy customers or businesses. When it comes to the ordinary person and comes to really designing products that are on the go for a customer, because customers on the retail market are, their needs are nuanced, and there's no one way to do it. The other thing is that you can't also then over customize because they're not creating so much value. The margins will be small, or then you have to apply too much margin. And so there are specific areas where banking, the traditional distribution of the traditional banking model will thrive, but there are specific areas that either need a lot of refinement, or it just needs to give way to like more nimble, efficient systems that fintechs provide. So in my view, it is not the friction, it's not so justified because it's a natural trend. Customers will always gravitate towards convenience and where they think that the price is right. So it's a natural thing. Customers always gravitate that. The number one is attracting investments. And you really cannot build a technology company without patient capital, because there's a time where you are developing the market till the time when you reach critical mass. To develop the market, where you reach critical market, to develop the market for other participants, because it's like you're developing an ecosystem. An ecosystem is based on how rich, how many actors exist in that ecosystem. So one person, it's going to be tough for you to basically just develop the market. And also, the other thing is like, whilst we have like super platforms elsewhere, like, people are talking about WeChat, people are talking about Facebook, people are talking about, just different platforms that people engage with. In Africa, it's not the same. We don't have the muscle to be able to even go into partnership with these people to be able to provide the needed kind of services. And we also have like, the resource base that these people naturally produce in the market. So if you were in an environment where Facebook is domiciled, clearly there are a lot of engineers you would have, a pool of engineers you have access to. In Africa, you are building everything from scratch. Attracting a level 5 engineer from Silicon Valley into any African market is really tough. It's not just the money, it's about, is the person in the right environment to thrive? Big question. And so even locating the right kind of technology is tough. And that's why, again, Paul Kigami did very well where he built like a technology village. I think we are trying to do that with Accra Digital City. But important things are, we need to invest a lot in creating a healthy ecosystem that then attracts the right kind of capital. the core infrastructure on which any technology works is it's provided by government. So whether it's your ID system, your address system, or like general platforms that people can leverage. Also, the things around literacy is provided in part by the functions of government. So whether people are educated, when it comes to things like trust, again, the financial system, there's a regulatory component, which again is the role of government. When it comes to even the ease with which somebody sets up a technology company, when it comes to technology transfer agreements between an entity that's probably domiciled in one country and then partners elsewhere, those agreements again are functions of government. So there's a lot that government can do, and government can also play that brand ambassadorial role in terms of attracting participants and letting people feel that this indeed, any markets that they target, that indeed is a healthy place to be able to scale. Remember that when it comes to fintech, it's not just about having one good product. You want to be able to build a product that you can hopefully replicate across the 54 markets. Otherwise, the technology is not really, the cost of serving 1 million customers sometimes is the same as serving 100 million customers. Because that's the thing about technology. So you really want a technology base that can serve a lot more people. Probably cliche, but you've got to define your market. Like, you've got to find a real problem where you find paying customers, and you have to make sure that you've clearly articulated, clearly defined your unique value proposition, and how you're going to deliver the service, how you're going to manage the customer in product, how you're going to create repeat opportunities for those customers, and then hopefully optimize the customer lifetime value. So that's number one. The other thing is you have to explore the regulatory environment also. So what are some of the tools that are available to you? So the Bank of Ghana passed the regulatory sandbox, and this allows fintechs to test ideas whilst working within a regulated environment. I think that's a great opportunity for people to just go and test out ideas. And be sure that, okay, it works, they've done the initial proof of concept, and then hopefully they can take it from there to then attract the right kind of investments. But a big part of it is you need to have like a base technology that works, that's able to deliver the goods. You also need to properly define your market, and you need to work with the existing regulatory environment. No jogging, that's easy. It comes naturally. Wake up in the morning, you start doing it. You don't have to plan, you can just go for it. Yes, I love to travel. I think I love Cape Town. I love Cape Town. I like the environment. It's a place where you can access everything. You can access great food. You can go out a hike on mountains, whether it's tabletop, it's Lion's Head, there are a number of places, or Signal Hill. You can always climb any of the major mountains. You can also go wine tasting. There's just like a lot of things you can do in Cape Town. I used to think that I'm a good cook, but ever since I started not eating at home much, I think the food I buy outside tastes better than the one I cook.